Alright guys, I'm back. I know it's been like a week or two and you're like wondering, Ruchi's not posting anymore. Well, first of all I want to apologize. I've been really busy the past couple of weeks. As some of you know, I am a graduating nursing student and I'm taking my NCLEX exam really soon. So last week I was just busy with studying and I couldn't get a video out. So I'm sorry guys, but finally had time and this is actually an impromptu session number 10. Luckily, my friend Okkh Mashanto here invited me to ST. And it turns out there was some interest in some people joining for a session today. So I'm also joined with Aki Makoto, Razor Steel, and Kotee Sai. And guys, I mean, I appreciate you guys joining in and doing this little session with me. So anyways, you guys, I'll start with Aki. When I start the session, I always like to ask people, it's like, you know, first of all, are you like a long-time Final Fantasy fan, and how did you get into Final Fantasy 14? Like, you know, give me like a brief like history. How did you get into this game? Aki?
Who was it to? Oh, Aki. He.
Aki, you okay?
Wait. Does he have a mic?
Wasn't he talking
No.
earlier? Oh no, sorry, was that
Oh, no,
Kira?
that's
Sorry,
Kira.
is that Aki or Kira?
Oh, that was
joined?
Kira.
Oh, Kira, I'm sorry. Kira Soji.
He face aggroed. We need to grab everything else so we can AoE kill.
Well, it started. I used to play 11, and then pretty much quit after 4 years, I think it was. And I heard about the. Well, I mean, then I started playing WoW, and then I heard this game was coming out. So I played it, but it was 1.0, and it wasn't. It was horrible, to tell you the truth. I only played it for like 1 week and just gave up because it was so laggy.
You started playing on the release of 1.0, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that was
Yeah.
horrible, man. I got you there.
It was just everything. I mean, I remember when I first started monitor, Warrior, whatever, and you know that boat
Someone
ride,
take him off for me.
that ghost killed me because I kept missing and the UI was so laggy. So it took me like, I don't know, it took me a while to kill that ghost. And so I just said, all right, maybe I'll get better. And I got to like 15. And I just said, nope, it's not getting any better. So I just quit, and then I don't know, I didn't keep up with it anymore, like any information. Then I don't know, like before it came out, like 3 months or 4 months before it came out, I heard that they were doing something new with it, so I decided to get on
That's
the beta.
the same exact thing how I got back into it.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
from there on.
How about you, Razor? How did you hear about this game? Are you like a previous Final Fantasy like fanboy or slash, you know, or you MMO player? Like, how did you get into this game?
I played the whole Final Fantasy saga, and then I was in XI. Played XI for a while. Was in Phoenix.
What was your first Final Fantasy game? Like, we all have that one Final Fantasy started with, and we're pretty biased with it because, you know, that's our first experience. Like, what's your first Final Fantasy game?
7. That's the first
7?
one I played.
Yeah.
It's a good one to start with.
And then I started buying them all.
Nice. So like, which ones have you played? Almost all of them?
Yeah, I played all of them.
Wow, even like the
Too
first,
much of them, but
like
yeah.
1 to 4, like
Yeah.
even the old school ones?
yeah.
Nice. That's
I got
highly
on eBay
appreciated.
and I bought all the games.
You're married, right? You
I-
sound so young, Razor. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm married. I'm 29. Married.
Oh,
Dude,
I'm
you
a
don't
little
sound, you don't sound 29,
I
dude.
know, right?
You sound like you're, I'm not gonna lie, you sound like maybe early 20s, maybe even like late teens, I'm not gonna lie.
I thought he was like 18.
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
So it's not bad, you know. So how about you, Cody? How about you? What's your story?
I've played Final Fantasy since the first one came out when I was a little kid.
If you don't mind asking, how old are
I
you?
played 11 for a few years. I'm 35.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I hear the average MMO gamer is now 31, and the ratio of females to males is getting kind of close.
Yeah, I've heard recent statistics. So like the whole thing,
Oh,
like
really?
girls don't play
Uh-huh.
games, kind of stigma is like slowly.
Well, with the caveat that the study was done for MMOs. Generally in games, it's still guys, but in MMOs, there seems to be a big draw to females.
Is that cross continent or is that just like U.S. North America?
I'm not sure
region?
on that.
How
I'm
long ago was
guessing
the
it's the
study?
United States. It's something
Yeah, I
I heard a
think
few weeks ago. I don't know who did it.
Interesting. So,
Final
Oak, so what's your
Fantasy.
story? I know we talked like long time that one time, so I kind of know your history. But you know, just for this session's sake, like tell us like your story of how you got into this game.
I can't talk in. Like I can't do two things at the same time. So yeah.
Trying to kill
so-
Skyla.
But you do know there's research. There's no such thing as multitasking. Something's gotta give. But anyway, hope you could heal then.
Kotee, you gotta
Cody.
carry.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
I literally cannot do like I can't eat and walk. Like if I eat banana while I'm walking, I'll fall.
It's fine. It's just ST.
It's honest.
Serious.
Let's see. Well, if I get into it, I've never played any other like video games. I just got into Final Fantasy because my friend in Japan, like when I went over to her house. Well, everything's full. Sorry. I got frozen. Sorry, Kara. What was I saying?
He's talking about how you got like how you introduced to this game
Yeah.
and like you know.
My friend in Japan, like, told me about this, like, I had some free time, and given my personality, he thought I would enjoy Final Fantasy. So I just started playing, like, now about 3 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, mind you, people like she has like zero gamer history. I talked to her. She's like, "Yeah, have you played games when you're like younger? When you're a kid growing up, played games?" You're like, "Nope." I'm like, "Wow."
No, I play Othello.
Othello,
If that counts.
sure, okay, board games and stuff like that, I guess, but like video games, you said no.
The AI, artificial intelligence. The
Daybreak.
game.
Pads.
Yeah. Pac-Man. I play Pac-Man.
Little different.
Yeah.
So
but
more like the casual, everyday, well, not everyday, like you know, like casual gaming kind of thing you've done here and there, but nothing
no,
like
I've never.
like
I've
time
never
intensive,
done
you know.
it. No, I think even Pac-Man I played like once in my life.
It's pretty amazing though. You jumped feet first into an MMO like this.
Yeah.
Especially a Square Enix game full of its esoteric, crazy variables and complications.
Thank you. But I don't know if I'm good at it. But I think if it was knowing my personality, if it was just like local arcade game, probably would lose interest. I tend to lose interest pretty fast.
So
you pick
what,
up the mechanics really fast. I don't know.
yeah, so what is
think
keeping you
so.
with playing this game then? Like what is it about MMOs or this game particularly that's like keeping you going? So obviously we spent like if you guys don't know, I've raided with her before in the past, and you know, for her first T7 kill, we spent like 4 or 5 hours straight to finally kill it. So yeah. So what is your incentive and what's your interest and why are you like, you know, staying with this game whereas you have zero history prior to? Like what is the drive for you for this game?
Drive?
Other
I
than
guess
that
I'm
you enjoy it
just-
obviously, but you know, this is something different. So
I think without me having to force myself, like there's enough there for me to get focused into, or at least get involved. Like I think whoever designed the game kind of thought of human psychology behind it, so that you don't get sick of it. I don't know if that makes sense. And a lot of aspect I think had like kind of brings out, how do you say it? Like it doesn't really reflect reality, but a lot of things can be reflective of like what goes on in the real world.
well, I mean, that's MMOs in general. That's you're not playing with AI. You're playing with real humans. Every single character here, unless you're botting, of course, or something. It's being driven and controlled by humans. So it's a community. It's real people.
So it's so it's not static. So I guess it's more dynamic, perhaps. But yeah, yes, it's that. But also because like you could see the progress. It's not such a long not that there's an end to it. Like you constantly, I guess, improve or something to work on.
Yeah,
and you could see the benefit or the progress pretty rapidly, I guess. Yeah.
You can say there's like really no set linear story. I mean, there's a main story, but then these games are open enough to where player-driven content is allowed. So that kind of interests people. And as with anyone, like any experienced MMO player, and even new people, just like you kind of grow this little relationship with your character, and you just want to see your character do well. I don't know. At least that sounds a little hella geeky and stuff, but I mean, for me personally,
no, I think so. But
I mean, I completely agree. Like,
oh, you do? I don't.
I don't know. I feel like one of the main reasons that I'm drawn to MMOs is because I feel like I can get really immersed in them. And like,
but you identify yourself with your character?
I mean, not that I identify myself with my character, but my character's something that I've created, and like in my mind, like she's got a personality, because like she's interactive throughout like the whole story and stuff like that. I don't know. I play like kind of paper and tabletops though. Like I play like Pathfinder and D&D and stuff like that. So this isn't really. I don't know. I've been playing MMOs ever since I was a kid, and I was like an only child. So like sitting here like late at night and then like going to bed and still thinking about the game and stuff like that.
You played MMOs when you were really young?
Yeah, I think I started when I was like 11.
Yeah, that's got to be different.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people who played 11, who play 14 now, have actually asked like, so how old are you when you're playing 11? They're like, oh, I was around like 11 to 14 years old.
Yeah,
around
I was
there.
like 10 or 11 when I started playing 11, which was my first MMO.
I started playing 11 when I was in junior in high school, so that was about like 15, 16. So yeah, I was kind of around there.
Yeah, I'm 23 now, so like
Yeah.
I grew up on MMOs basically. I'm sorry, I got it late.
No, it's totally fine. This is we're just talking about anything. I mean, this is what it's for. But like at least for the IC with Final Fantasy MMOs, I noticed that the age bracket is like, I know in MMOs there's always the age group is huge, but in terms of Final Fantasy, I feel like it's a bit more broader than other MMOs.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I've noticed.
Also, I feel like.
Silence.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just teasing. Alright, go ahead. Are you doing this more like formally?
What do you mean formally?
I feel like
No, it's not a turn-based talking progression.
No.
That's your question.
No, we're just
like who has the feather and may speak.
Oh my god, please.
Yeah.
No, if you have something to say, go ahead. Go ahead. I know since this is definitely a new experience for you, I'm kind of interested in like what is like your view of like quote unquote our world, because it seems like all of us here have played these type of games for a while, whereas you could be considered someone from the outside. How do you like view
Yeah, I think
this?
actually that's what interests me, because like gamers are, at least, I mean, I don't know if I have I would think that I have brought like different types of friends, but none of my friends are gamers, and I think a lot of gamers, they're so different.
Different like how? I'm curious about this.
I mean, I think I'm too it's too early for me to say, but I think that's what keeps me interested. I mean, at the same time, there's some horrible people in it. I'll be honest.
That's in real life too. There's toxicity
yeah,
everywhere.
I think that goes back to like what I was saying. In some form or another, like it reminds me, like it does mimic the real life. Even Gil and people actually thinking that like the I don't know, their status in the game sort of represents like
Defines
who they
them.
are. Yeah, defines them. Yeah, and they actually let it get. I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad, but they actually think that that makes them superior than other people, and that really is like human psychology, right?
Well, it's sometimes people who wield no power in real life and feel meaningless, and then in a game they derive their worth from the game.
Exactly.
So it creates issues.
But they also take. I think it actually it's bi-directional in that it's slowly or somehow like they actually start to believe, like they play long enough, and then they start to think that they are actually like superior, like as a
Right,
even
but
in
it does
real
not
life.
translate, as
Right,
Joe.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, there's also, I think I talked about this with you before in the past. Oh, it's like there's this like a group of certain people who really take that a bit to the extreme, whereas they actually roleplay as a certain character, and they utilize this game as a medium to I told you, like, people like create like huge long like lore based like biographies for their character, and then they create their own story through everyone's like bio, through interaction and everything. It's pretty insane.
In my case, I'm a Moogle Kupo.
I did some role playing on WoW. I joined a role playing server for a little bit. I never did any in Final Fantasy, but I'm like, I don't know. I grew up on like playing D&D and stuff like that, so it was never really alien to me.
But that's a bit different.
I find that they're like the least toxic people. Like,
yeah,
I find
definitely. Yeah, most of the time
they're very MMOs are full of crap people.
Yeah, actually, I think
Play
I've
Call of
never
Duty.
met them, but it's quite different because if you go in with an intention of role playing versus while you're playing and then you sort of get lost and don't realize that you're letting the game like affect who you are, I guess, or what your identity is. It's kind of, I would think that the people who actually with an intent to like role play would be less likely to confuse the two, like the game versus who they are.
Well, honestly, I feel like the people utilize MMOs as a form of just having the ability to easily, I guess, like quote unquote shut on and off a alternate personality, or it can even be used as a form of escapism from their everyday grind in like real life. Some people, some people are maybe really goody two shoe in like real life, and then bottling all that stress up, keeping that image in real life is just like they feel like they could use an MMO as an outlet. Because I've met people who like were toxic in game, but like I finally met this person in real life because he lives pretty close, and I talked to the dude in real life. It's like, dude, why do you act like that? In game, you're pretty damn toxic, dude. You don't have to be that way. And I met this guy. He's totally chill in real life, and he just kind of explained it to me.
I would
it's like,
disagree. The thing is, I would disagree. If you can't, knowing that it's a real person on the other end of a game playing a computer, like if they have that potential to be a jerk in a game, that means that they have that within them. They might be able to, like, I guess, hold it in somehow, but nonetheless, it is part of them, no? Because like it's not something you could create.
Yeah, I would suggest your anecdote about your friend is an anomaly. It could be true, but it's just probably not the norm.
I mean, like some people have like web brands essentially, where like they get on here and it's not like they're role playing a character. It's like a skit, like a joke personality. Like it's something that they do to have fun. Essentially, like they're trolling. Basically, it's like someone who they're not. But like most of usually those people are just like. Are either borderline annoying or a little funny, but like I find that the worst people are like the same people who you find in, like the MOBA and FPS crowd, like the keyboard warriors and like the people who are just like real like racist jerk offs. I don't know. MMOs, like especially growing up on them, like they've always harbored like real jerk people. Like from what I've noticed, like it's tough to find people who are cool and to play with.
But I do want to mention I have met. I mean, like, I guess because I've never played video games before, so coming in, I didn't have the notion of, like, oh, game friends are game friends, and then real life friends are real life friends. So I don't know. Like, although there are people that I don't know, I wouldn't speak so highly of, but at the same time, I would say I've met some really great friends through here. Well,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, growing up on MMOs, like, I've made a lot of friends, and, like, basically, like, you know, I've got friends on, like, a forum, and, like, we have an IRC channel, and we've been playing games together since, like, forever, you know, since we were, like, kids. Like, a new MMO comes out, and we all, like, subscribe together, and that sort of thing.
Well,
But they're just people who I know online, but, like, we've kept the community, like, going.
I think in terms of like the evolution, or like what some guy he commented on my previous videos, the evolution of our MMO gaming community nowadays is that, and I kind of agreed with him. Sorry, clear my throat. I think the reason of, you know, kind of the toxicity growing within MMOs. First of all, it's becoming a bit more mainstream, so less of a niche thing to do, and that and the introduction of cross-server playing. So I think it brings a new level of
Anonymity.
anonymity, and you know, it gives them an escape route to you know, act like an ass and just like
I
never
get
see
that
you.
concept, but I still would argue I don't think it's any more or less toxic. I mean, there were so many idiots in Final Fantasy XI that would steal monsters that, you know, were so rare, that would call for help just to be a dick move. I mean, I have a plethora of examples of people just screwing over other people.
Yeah, I guess you're true in the fact, but it was definitely less prominent, definitely, because, like, you know, you're in one server. Once you ruined you tainted your image in that server, you're pretty much screwed. And
Right.
I'm talking about, this is like before server transfers were a thing in 11. It's like,
Dude, the Japanese had an online blacklist. It was amazing. So
Yeah.
a lot of people would get blacklisted and then never get invited again
So kind of like in just
by
like,
the Japanese.
Yeah, just like in real life, you have a reputation to upkeep, and that's what kept people from being asses. You know, people actually cared about their image, because, you know, if you were seen as a bad person and like word got around, you would not get any parties, and no one would want to play with you. You know. So I feel like that definitely, you know, affected things. But nowadays,
It
where you
still
just,
exists, but I guess in a way that is lesser. I mean, because now you know names like Dude Jr. and there's a few names on the server you remember, but in 11 it was a longer list.
wow, dang, name calling in my session, bro. Wow, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna withhold anything, you know. Whatever happens, happens in the session. It's my deal.
No, but I mean, I definitely think that
Just Kotee's opinion.
has, like, changed the way that we view that. Like, I don't know, since I've been playing games since before server transfers were like a thing, you know, like playing like on like Vanilla WoW or Final Fantasy.
I was back
server
there.
transfers.
I'll get you.
Like,
Oh, my Switch is
I
down.
think it's definitely
Hold on.
changed
Can
how
you
people
get in?
view each other.
You don't really
Sorry.
need me. Got LB.
I agree with you.
10%.
That's Kira, right? So I'm getting used to you. I'm still getting used to your voices. That's Kira, right?
Oh no,
No,
this
that's
is Prasch.
Code.
No.
Wait, oh, Prasch. Prasch. Okay,
LB's going to waste.
Now I got your voices now.
Like, I don't know, I mean, like, I noticed that, like, you know, when you're in a duty finder with people, most of the time nobody talks. Like, if it's a crossover thing, you know, nobody
Right.
talks.
Well, see,
Like,
that is what
I'm
triggered
a
me to
frog
start
still,
doing
look.
this. This is
That's
that is the
awesome.
reason why I was like, dude, I knew there's people there. They're controlling their like, the whole time. They say hi, and that's pretty much it. And at the end, they say bye.
Yep.
They're like, oh, GG, and
Yeah.
then they just leave. So I'm like, why is someone still? Okay, never mind.
Well, but people are watching TV during that. Those are kind of the autopilot type stuff, just to grind.
That's true, I guess. Like, it's
You
like,
know, the other day... Oh, sorry, continue.
no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, the other day I was doing, like, what's it called? Hullbreaker Isle. And, like, we were trying to sneak by the first ads, and I made a joke saying, hey, you're banned, like, as they pulled the ad, you know, and like, hey, sorry, like, I just found out my boyfriend cheated on me, and like we like stopped playing, and we like talked to this person for like 10 minutes, like not even pulling trash, just like making sure that they were okay, and like talking to them, and they were really thankful, and they were like, oh, I'm crying and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, it's nice to actually connect with people on MMOs sometimes, because especially with this whole cross-server thing, like, and especially, I mean, although in Final Fantasy I noticed it less, but in WoW, like when I was playing WoW, you can play and never talk to anybody. You can do like all the content and be like the worst player ever, and like purposely be bad and still do like all the content, you know, and like never have to interact with anyone.
And I guess
like
that's.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Continue on your thought.
I was just gonna say, I like that this server still feels a little small though. That like I still like recognize names, you know, and even though like we do cross-server things like with the Duty Finder, that like I'll recognize names and that my friends list is pretty big, you know, and like there's a lot of people who like I'll remember to play with or to not play with.
Yeah, I think, you know, party, like, especially if people party find a lot and you kind of know their names. Like, I've seen your guys' name around, so, you know, kind of like that. I had never talked to you guys. This is my first time talking to you guys, obviously, but, you know, at least, you know, this session will at least, you know, do a little intro and change things at least a bit. You know, I'll remember your guys' names. And, you know, I think just, I feel like today, nowadays, I think people still are willing to talk, but I think the initiative to start a conversation is lacking in, you know, today's communities. I think that's what's missing. It's just that initiative, that because once you start talking, people start talking. You know, it's just how it is. Because we're social beings. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. At least that's just my thought on it.
But no, I definitely agree.
I was gonna say it was easier back then though, because there was no duty finders, so you know you were forced to talk to other people.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, that and 11 was definitely heavily group oriented. You can't do shit. You can't even level up.
You would wait hours for just an experience party. It was unbelievable. And if you happened to have picked a class like Dark Knight in the first year or two, it took you months to get levels, and that is not hyperbole.
Yeah.
So you would.
Markham Dunes.
Yep.
So now it's
Yeah.
it's like that's what people don't really talk, because I mean, you know, they just get on duty finder, you know, and they think, well, I'm not gonna see this person ever again, so why should I bother talking to them, getting to know them? And whereas back
I guess
then,
they.
it's like,
Yeah, the interaction is really brief. I think that's why you're right on that.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as
But
I
in
said,
terms of content, like real content, not just duty finder stuff, that doesn't seem to be the case, you know.
In what ways? Whoa, I'm about
Because
to
for
die.
Coil, if you want Coil, you have to get to know people.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
yeah,
Party finder, you gotta
that's
talk to people
true.
about them.
Even if you want to do a remove party right now, you better be able to get at least on a voice communication.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
that
seen
helps a
several
lot.
people get turned down because they refuse to get on a TeamSpeak or something.
Oh.
I mean, like,
I
these
feel
raids
like, though-
require some communication, you know, like Ramu and like the second coil, and people. I don't know. It fosters not just like communication about the raid, though. It also fosters like making friends and like, you know, building relationships on the game, and like, you know, remembering who was someone who was enjoyable to play with and such like that.
I also feel that though the 8-man is a bit restrictive. I feel like if they introduce like you know, bigger rating, I feel like that community building would just, you know, inch a bit towards, you know, the better way. It's expanding your list of people you
I don't
interact
think
with
so.
more. Really?
If
Like,
it's too large, then people will get lost in the midst of it. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, because I used to, like, when I played WoW, I used to be 25 people, and I didn't get to talk to a lot of them. Like, I had to get to know them. Versus,
Really?
you know, when I,
How
when
would
they
you
changed
talk?
it to 10 people, I got to know them better.
that's true. But I don't know. I guess for my 25% is different though. But yeah, I guess you're
Or in
right.
Final Fantasy XI, like having like, you know, knowing like everyone on the server, like, and you know, and camping H&Ms and people botting them and stuff like that. Like, it really built a community, although it was kind of a community built on anger. Like,
But at
And
least
envy.
Everybody knew each other then.
yeah, everybody
Why
knew each
envy?
other. Which is
Like,
nice.
I played like before, like claim botting was a huge thing. So like you'd always run against like the same rivals. Be like, oh, you're here again. All right, man. Let's
Yep.
see. Good luck to you, man. Let's see who gets the claim this time, this window. You
Yeah.
know. And you know, you'd troll each other, shoot the shit. But you know, in the end, it was like all of, like, it was good sportsmanship. It was fun. That's I enjoyed NN camping because, like, even though I hated them for, like, if I lost, I would still be like, hey man, see you next window, you know? You still interacted, like, a lot with that guy, you know? And I enjoyed that.
And
Not on my server.
I think 8 people though in a raid is conducive to like what Square Enix is trying to foster, like in the sense that they're trying to make it accessible where you don't get too many people, so you don't need to get too many people together, but like it's still like challenging content where like if you get 8 people, you know, you still gotta work hard.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I mean, I find it refreshing from like the 25-man or 40-man raids of WoW, you know?
Yeah.
I think maybe a 16 or a 10 wouldn't be so bad, like I'd try that out.
We cleared it before the jump? Or wait, that's the last one. Those were fast clears though.
Yeah, no wipe, that's good. And we were kind of like semi-distracted, you know, we're talking and stuff.
Oh no! Ah!
What?
Oh, can you
What
edit
else?
that out? Oh no! I told
What?
you I can't do 2 things at the same time.
Did you accidentally
I looted-
pass?
Yeah, no, I looted on stuff that I don't need.
Then leave right
Hold
now.
on,
But she needs
hold on,
something,
you
though.
won't get it. I just won't make a decision on it, and we'll let
Yeah.
the time go out.
Oh.
What do
really?
you want?
Just time. Send.
Or you can
Alright, yeah.
just leave.
I
and
haven't passed anything yet, so just like...
I'll just let you leave before I make my decision, so it'll just sit there. So I will
my
pass the
God.
sands. I assume people want the sands and
I
the
already
oil.
have my loot for the week, so I'm just gonna keep my things up till you guys are ready.
Thank you.
So pass or lot sands and oil.
Yeah, I won't pass those stands, I don't need any of those.
There you go. You got your sand.
Congrats, Aki.
So now you
Congrats,
can leave.
Much.
I guess it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't let you get it anyway. Grats.
Load time, cast, pass.
But-
Pass and all.
But I don't understand. So if you don't loot, then what happens?
Well, it's just sitting. I have 210 seconds to make a decision, or by default, it'll go to the ground.
Yep. So, yeah, the oil just went to the floor. That's funny.
Aw, thank you, Kupo.
And oil went to the floor. Whoops.
That's fine. I already got my
No
thing for
one
the
lotted
week.
it.
Oh,
Well, unfortunately, guys, this is the end of the instance, aka also the end of the session.
Thank you.
Honestly, you know, this session totally made that ST fly by. I'm like, dude, we're finished already? And
Yeah, right?
yeah, it was enjoyable. I really appreciate you guys coming in, taking the time out of your time, you know, your day to join this session with me. Thank you, Soij? I don't know. Say it. Please shoot me if I'm saying it wrong. I'm bad with the
That's
names.
alright. It's actually, yeah. Go.
Prasch, let's see, Razor, Kotee, and Okkh. Obviously, these guys are all from Hyperion. We're all on the same server. And, you know, any last final thoughts before I end this and call it a day?
Love you, Kupo.
Hey, thanks for the invite. I really appreciate it.
Awesome, man. I had a good time with you guys. I always do this. I like meeting new people on the same server. You know, getting our server smaller world, getting to know more people, and you know, a lot of us were old 11 players too. You know, we miss that tighter community, and hopefully, you know, session by session, it kind of brings people a bit closer. At least be familiar with people's names. You know, and
Yeah.
we'll see where this goes. So, anyways, Okkh, thank you for inviting me, and you know, this was an impromptu session. And there was no kind of structure to this at all, but nevertheless, we still had fun reminiscing about old times and stuff. And Okkh, you know, welcome to the world of MMO gaming. Hopefully, you stay longer and not just be a visitor. Maybe, you know, who knows? I know some people just come and go because it's not their thing, but it seems like you're enjoying yourself. So, trust me, once you're hooked into MMOs, you're gonna keep going in some like form of way, like even if it's casual, like you get busy with real career or whatever, but you're still gonna find some kind of time if you're that, you know, if you enjoyed it that much, your experience. So anyways, this has been Ruji. Sorry again for the late session, and till next time, guys, I'll try to get into more scheduled video release after I pass my exam, hopefully. So thank you guys, till next time.
See you guys.
bye.
Later.
Later.